Hey everybody, welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner. It is a gorgeous day in Southwest Ohio around mid-February. And in mid-February, y'all, since I have a gorgeous day and I haven't had one for some time because look at this. Yep, y'all, that's what we've been dealing with over the last little bit. That's what we've been dealing with. But the snow is receding, the weather is warming up, and I can get out here and finish working on the garden redesign. I got 2 warm days, and I am going to take advantage of those 2 warm days out here in the garden, and we are going to finish putting in drip irrigation. So this area that you're looking at right here was, I think, part 5 of the redesign. I got my beds in. I need to finish the beds too, but today, y'all, we're gonna get the drip irrigation in as I'm stepping on all kinds of snow and ice. But I believe we can reconnect all of the drip irrigation to each and every one of these wood grain beds that you see right here. Now, drip irrigation is already in what I call the mini orchard area, which is over here. And we are good to go over in this space here. I have a couple beds, that one right there, and the one back there that were additions, part of this last part of the redesign. So we will make sure we have drip going to those. And that fire ring way in the back over there, y'all, we're gonna put flowers in there. So I wanna get drip going to that one as well. So that's what we're here to do today, is work on drip irrigation. Amongst all of this snow that is behind me here, we are gonna take advantage. This snow has been on the ground now for 3 weeks, and it doesn't seem to be going anywhere because it was just so much of it. But my garden is mostly clear and I have help today. My brother's here from Indiana to hang out with me today to work in the garden. Hey, Garrett, tell him hi. So he's going to help me get this drip irrigation down and a few other projects. So let us get set up and we will start laying this drip irrigation. And as always, I'm bringing you with me. So y'all, I know I got this coat on and y'all see this snow. I just want you to know, y'all, it's not bad out here. I'm probably going to come out of this coat very soon. But the first thing that we needed to do is remove all of the old drip irrigation. So here's a picture of what the garden used to look like. So I had wooden raised beds, lined up. I had about 4 rows of wooden raised beds in this space here. And now that the wooden raised beds are in a pile over there that I need to get rid of that wood, but in my mind, I'm going to recycle it in some way. I removed all of the old drip irrigation lines and I pushed them to the side because, y'all, we are going to reuse as much of that as possible. So to do that, I've been cutting it away. There's a place where I've cut it away right there and right in this space here in front of me, because I had lines going down each of the rows where the wooden raised beds were. Well, I've decided with this design, the main water's coming in right there. So it runs behind my garage here and comes around this way. And that's where we connect into the water. So this is where we connect in right here. So there's the water line coming in and splitting. And I'm splitting because one goes to the drip irrigation and the other one gives me a hose out here to water my green stalks and pots and a few other things. You never know when you need water for the garden. So that's where we're coming in. I'm going to come in there, and because of the way the beds are laid out, y'all, I only need 1 line coming through here, and I can hit each and every one of these beds without having 3 rows of water lines. So it's going to be a less complicated drip irrigation setup. And then the drip goes on around to the side here, around the front of the beds over to where we call that the little orchard area over there. And all of that drip is still in place. There is nothing wrong with the drip over there. I'm just going to tie right into it. These beds right here are already on drip. I don't need to do anything special for them either because they are tied in at the main area as well. If I was still using the old way of my drip irrigation, so let me show you. Well, now I can't, oh, there it is. You see these little brown connectors? Y'all, back in the day, I used to take these little brown connectors, make sure it was super warm by dipping it in hot water and forcing it into each and every one of those little connections. Y'all, I don't use that anymore. That's not the process I use anymore. I now use a different brand, like this one right here, where it's all compression. I don't have to force those teeny little pieces on, making sure it's nice and warm. I don't have to do any of that. I will put a link to the brand that I use. And y'all, they just happened to be on sale on Black Friday back in November. And so I picked up plenty to make sure that I have enough for this particular process. And I will be adding a shutoff valve for every bed, which I didn't have before. In the new area that I did last year, I made sure every bed had its own shutoff valve. In the old area, I didn't have it. We will have it now as I redo this setup. The other thing that I struggled with, y'all, was having to cut the main supply line. That is some thick, and I do mean thick, plastic right here. Well, now I have this tool right here, y'all. It is so easy. It's just zip, zip, and it's done. Versus having to use a regular pair of shears trying to do it. And then I have a CCC hand tool as well. That would be great for this process where you don't have to use any muscle to get it done. But this is sized for the two different supply lines that I use, and that's why I use this. This is what I've always used before, but we got a couple tools to help us cut it. So let me go ahead and lay out all the supply lines. So I already started here. We're gonna tee in right here, and we're gonna go this way to run drip to all of these beds, and then we will tie in to the main line going around to the other side. And once I do that, I will bring you back. All right, y'all, it's time for an update on what we've done, what we've accomplished so far. So let me show you, because guess what, y'all? I haven't started any new lines. I've been reusing every line I had in here, and y'all, it's looking good. It's looking good. We're almost done, so let me give you an update. So I had a ton of line in that box and a ton of line over here. Didn't use any of it. So this is where we start right here. I got a valve there. I tee off here. I got a valve. I got a valve. Every bed has a valve in it now. We are only running one main line through here. Now I still need to connect this right here, but we'll have to do that after we finish filling the beds up with soil. And I've made an executive decision here. So I had 3 fire rings that I needed to find homes for. So here's one, and I'm okay with this being here. We are going to take this grapevine out, and I mean, that's prime real estate, y'all. I need this bed for some real food. I have 60 tomato plants I'm trying to get in here, and so I need this space right here. So the grapes are coming out. We're going to use that bed to grow vegetables versus fruit, because that's what's really going to sustain my family. And then it still leaves me 3 beds. So there's one. I'm going to leave that one way back there, and we're going to use it for flowers. But then I have one more, and I've made the decision that I'm going to put it over here rounding the front of the garden. And y'all, my feet aren't cold, but we are still having a good time out here. Anyway, we're gonna put that one bed right there, and we're gonna remove that green stalk. That green stalk gets shaded out all the way up until evening. So we're gonna put that bed there and put something like flowers or something like that, bringing in pollinators, but not necessarily needing it to grow food, or a lot of food, I should say. And I already have lines coming around here. So we're gonna tie in Move that green stalk, put that one in, y'all, and then, y'all, I think we will have everything on this side done. Y'all, we've come a long ways compared to last year in this space here. So we're going to keep on working, and I'm going to bring you back when we get done. So this is the first break we've had to take, and we haven't had to stop for being cold because, y'all, it's 50 degrees today. 50 when we've been at negative for whatever, for forever. So we're going to finish this up. We're going to bring you back, and then we're going to talk about how easy it was. I mean, just using this method right here has saved so much time, so much time. And y'all, it's just compression. You screw it on and voila, it's done. And that has made this process so easy. But I will bring you back in just a moment. Well, y'all, that's it. I am done, at least all I'm going to do for now. So let me show you what I've done. So I had already showed you how we've run the wire, or should I say drip emitters, to each one of the beds. We got our shutoff valves on each of the beds. And now over here, I tied into this bed here. And in this bed right here, there is an actual how to install drip irrigation. I have a video out there that I did from this bed. So we tied in here and we came around and we placed that fire ring right there. And I got all of the drip emitter inside as well, but it still needs all the soil and everything to finish that off. And if y'all look over there, y'all see a pallet of good old stuff over there. That over there, I call that Happy Frog. That's another video. That's not for today. But over here, my little owl is hard at work trying to scare me away. We've got all of what we need for this bed right here as well. We came over here, and these beds were already in place, most of them anyway. Tied in for that bed there. We've tied in for this bed here. And not even knowing it, not even realizing it, I should say, when we terminated at this last bed, I put kind of like an end cap here. So we took the end cap off, we tied in, and we've come around to this fire ring right here. Now for this fire ring that you see behind me here, we are going to put in some type of pollinator, flowers, that kind of stuff into this one. I figured by putting flowers here, it's going to help with the pollination of my trees. So there are apple trees, cherry trees, another apple tree right there, a dead cherry tree over here, peach trees, and I just did a complete circle and another peach tree over there. So I'm hoping by bringing in the pollinators, and blueberries right there. Strawberries are everywhere over here. That's why I call this my fruit orchard, everybody. But I am hoping that bringing in more flowers versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus individual little pots, I'm going to bring in a great big old fire ring on this end of the garden, and the other end of the garden way over there, bring in more flowers over there. And I have apple trees over there as well. So by bringing in pollinating flowers, I'm hope it'll bring in those pollinators to both ends of my garden. Drip is 100% in. From there, that's where it terminates on that end, to the main garden area, which is all throughout this space here, terminating at my she shed right there, and then all the way around to the fruit orchard and terminating over there. I am 100% covered by drip irrigation again. And that's where we are. Yes, working in the snow on the outdoor garden. If you didn't already know, I love my garden. And you give me a warm day, I don't care if there's snow on the ground. You give me a warm day, I'm going to be out here in my garden if I can be. So I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me today, playing around with a little drip irrigation. And y'all, don't worry, we're going to be out here again putting all of our happy frog into all of these new beds that we started last season. So we will end right here. That's it for now. And I hope to see you back here again real soon at Kim's Cozy Corner. Talk to you later. Bye.